thinking about you guys, and like, it's all about your character names, and I rarely say like your actual name.
I'm good with like everybody except
I mean, for
you and
some of us,
Rachel.
we've called you your character names more than we've ever called you your real name.
Right. So like
it's kind of
Dan
ingrained.
and Erna and Eric, that's no problem. It's the rest of you that I've known forever.
I know.
Yeah.
And I can think for a second.
Just like, what would Micaiah do?
To be
She'd
fair,
have a peach cobbler.
Oh, yes, she would.
I did the same thing when we were playing Brian's game, though. I would think of everybody in their character names. Like Fnipper and Eric.
Fnipper.
I still think about how Brian says my name, Fnipper, because he would never say it, just Fnipper. He would always say, Fnipper! I miss that.
Flipper?
Wasn't Robert's name like Wookie or something like that?
Yeah.
Wookie.
Mm-hmm.
We are live, by the way. We are live.
Oh my goodness. Okay.
Are we live?
Yes, we're live. So I'm gonna do something a little different, just because we actually had people watch, and have everybody like introduce yourselves and your characters, like just your name, what your character's name, and like what they are, like, you know, tiefling sorcerer or whatever. So we are doing, this is our 33rd session. Yeah. It's like we're obsessed. Or something.
Guilty.
And this is the Tyranny of Dragons, so I am Izzy or Liz, depending on when you met me in your life. And I'm the DM. Whoever wants to go. Take it away. Nobody?
Oh, I got one.
They were just going like in camera order.
I know. Well, see, it's funny because I'm first, then it's Izzy, then it's you, Pat, Lauren, and you know what I mean?
Oh, it's different for all of us.
I don't know if it's the same. I don't know if it's the same. Yeah.
Oh no, it's the same. For me, it's the same. Goes you, Izzy, Cuba, then me, and then Lauren, Annie, and Rachel on the bottom.
Yeah, no, it's totally different.
Anyway, my name's Adam. My name's Arik Firesong, and I'm a fighter. I like to hit things with other things and make them explode.
A human fighter.
Human fighter, sorry, yeah. Forgot that part.
Like human.
So, filthy human.
I am Annie, and I am Micaiah. And I'm a half-elf, except I talk like this. Like I'm from Texas or Missouri, something like that.
It switches up.
Two drastically different places.
We don't know where you're from.
I don't even know where I come from.
It changes every so often.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Those places don't exist in the game, so it's fine.
Andrew. I play Ernot Brewbottle, Hill Dwarf, Paladin, Warlock. I like to smash things with a great hammer. Then I drink. And apparently I'm grumpy. I'm not grumpy. You're just all weird.
Grumpy.
Guilty.
I'm Patrick. I play Xander Huntsman, the half-elf ranger monk in training. Just trying to do what's best for everyone and find Kane.
See you in 2020.
It's so sweet.
He'll also be running for office.
This November.
Best candidate I have seen so far.
I won't be old enough in November.
I'm
if it was in
Rachel.
December, if it was in December, I'd be 35, but I'm not old enough. Sorry, 4 more years.
Baby Zan, represent.
I'm Rachel. I play Vidania, the High Elf Ranger. I shoot things with my bow and arrow.
That
Kill
she
them.
does.
And they
She's-
explode often.
Kill them.
She's our
Feel good.
almost a murder hobo. Almost.
Aspire.
No,
Really?
to
she
be a
might be
murder hobo.
She might be a murderer
She's the-
away from officially being a murder homo.
Right.
Hobo.
Homo.
Well,
I don't
She's
think
the,
that's what you meant.
the topless wonder is what we call her.
Yeah.
I think by level 10 she'll have killed a lot of innocent people.
Innocent?
By accident.
No.
At least try to kill them.
You haven't killed an innocent person yet.
Okay, well, I'm Lauren, and I play Abaddon, the tiefling sorceress, who's a little silly.
And loves horses.
Loves horses and has a cat whose butt is mostly in the camera.
That
All
is
right.
true.
I just came back to butt in the camera. That's all I heard.
The bums of
leave-
greenness!
And
I
that's
leave
why
for
we are the
2
dragons
sec-
of greenness.
2 seconds and I come back to bums in the camera.
All right.
Drink.
What am I missing?
Bum in
Oh,
the
I'm missing
camera.
RX camera. So I'm just setting up RX camera because now we have everybody with a camera up. So forgive me while I do this. So yesterday I streamed my DM prep session and that went really well. We got another follower. The Lord, no, not the Lord. The Loophole King. That's right. It's close. King Lord. And I did unbox my mini, and I don't know where I put it. I think I put her away, but looked really cool. It'll be better if I show you guys in person. But the detail is really awesome. It just needs like a wash or something to, based off of research that Andrew whatever did.
Not.
Or not. There you go. That's better. It just needs
Dirty Erdy.
Dirty Erdy.
Dirty Erdy.
Dirty Erdy's Pole Palace. Stripper joint name right there.
So it just needs like a wash or something to get rid of a little bit of shininess, I think.
That and I think it'll add more depth because it's kind of like flat. Like the details on the mini are great, but like the colors are kind of flat. It's like a base coat.
Right. So it looks really awesome. Like I said, the details are fantastic. I can't wait to show you all, but I will have to wait to show you all. So that's unfortunate.
Well,
even-
hopefully not too long.
Yeah, because even when I put it up into the camera, like it just, just doesn't.
Doesn't do it justice.
Right. Did I lose somebody? Why is my camera all messed up here? I think Abaddon, I think I screwed you up. Alright, hold on.
Is that helping?
Nope.
Just kidding, sorry.
It's not helping or hurting.
Nope.
Okay.
You're pushing the
doing
internet
nothing.
waves away. It's causing distortion.
It's causing me to lose
My
Towards
jar
you.
ran out. My
Almost
beams.
done.
The beams.
Alright. Okay, almost there. And then I think this will be something that I don't have to do again because you'll all be in the same spot as long as we're all using cameras. I'm not the only one who has this problem. I've watched other people for like several days now, and it makes me feel better about myself because it makes me feel like I kind of know what I'm doing, and that is that sometimes shit's just wrong.
Well,
And-
a lot of times mine will either freeze or I'll get like 3 or 4 people that freeze, or it'll just completely freeze everybody with the video and the sound, so I have to back out.
Yeah.
And does it if I back out and come back, does it shift everybody down or something?
Nope, everybody goes right back. So when you leave, everybody shifts over like a spot or something, but when you come back, everybody goes back to where they were. so I can deal with that.
I just know that I blink. I know I blink in and out sometimes because I'm using the phone.
Yeah, that's okay.
I just pretend to freeze.
You.
But
I'm an idiot. Just somebody needs to tell me to shut
I know,
up.
it's a
All right.
contest. Who can make the dumbest? Who
Abaddon.
can make the dumbest face
Shut
and
up.
stay there?
I win.
It's because we got that picture of you going. That super surprised face.
You guys
Alright,
get the most
sorry.
flattering ones.
Sorry, DM.
Nope, you're all fine.
Seen half the pictures I've taken.
Flattering one.
I'm going back over here. I'm just moving my stuff around so that it can make the most sense on my screens. Okay. Alright, I'm ready.
Or you just, what was that? Eh.
I
Oh,
wanted
it's
to
dice.
roll some dice.
Oh,
I thought you
she's
were-
freaking out.
Yeah, I was like, I don't know what's going on over there.
Hey, we've got Nat Awesome in our chat. Just saying hi.
Hi.
Who's awesome? Nat awesome. you
Nat
said?
Awesome. And she's
Orderly.
hosting us on her channel.
Yay! Thank you.
Awesome. I have to make a Twitch account so I can start following some of the people back.
Yeah.
You said it's free to do.
Oh yeah. Totally free.
All right. I'll check that tonight out tonight after the session.
And if you have an Amazon Prime account, you can subscribe to somebody for free, and that's how you can watch all of the Critical Role episodes that are in Campaign 2, because that's what I do every month. It's a free one subscription every month. So
Cool.
just throwing that out there. Once I'm all caught up, I'll use my free sub to sub somebody else other than Critical Role, who's got 2 million gazillion people subscribe to it.
We'll be there someday too.
Yes,
Right?
we will.
Right, guys? Where's the
Right.
self-confidence,
yeah,
guys?
we can do it.
Yep.
Right, Vidania? Get us there, girl.
I mean,
You know I will.
you gotta show your boobs. Show your boobs.
Boops.
Your boobs. That's how Ben used to say
Her
boobs.
milkshake brings all the followers to Twitch. Yeah.
I mean, I'm cool if we just have 50 subscribers, 50 followers at this point, because then we can do all kinds of fun stuff. With that.
Does it count if I just make 49 different accounts and then subscribe?
I mean, you can.
I mean, why not?
Let Twitch know that.
A lot.
I'll watch myself from 49 different devices.
It's a lot to keep track of. All
Like
right. So
49 different Yahoo mail accounts.
That's fine. They're all just get junk mail anyway. Doesn't matter.
all right. So let's get started.
Yay.
She'll be right back.
Getting cookies.
Oh, she's gotta go.
Yeah, part real quick.
He's probably gonna go pee. Oh no, too
that was too
quick for
quick.
pee.
I told you it was cookies.
Well, Abaddon said something about cookies and chips in the chat, and I was like, oh.
That
You're
a sugar
snack us
cookie?
right now. Somebody needs a chips and snack.
Somebody's got to eat something.
He needs an intervention.
I got it. I got us covered. Snack
Okay.
boy.
All right, we're ready to entertain, Liz. I mean, DM.
Okay.
Oh, take a shot.
Fucking do it.
All right. Okay. I'm just looking because my notes didn't carry over from my phone. There it is. Okay. Nope. That's not it. There it is. Okay. All right. Recap. We pick up our story with the bums packing up along with the rest of the caravan on day 24 of your journey. north to Waterdeep, there was a goblin attack the night before that resulted in some of the merchants losing a portion of their wares, though luckily none lost their lives. Micaiah and Arik stand off to the side discussing events of the night before and who, if anyone, Abaddon went to talk to in the woods. Tasked with following the cult wagons and gathering intel, you find yourselves about halfway through your expedition. The day looks overcast. There's a light breeze that rolls through the remainder of the camp. And I'm actually going to start with Abaddon giving me a perception check.
Oh dear. Okay.
Was this so if she saw me and Makai making out in the corner?
Ew, gross. It's like my mom and dad making out. It's nasty.
Not that
never
much
did
older
that.
than you, Jesus.
So, Abaddon, you do see over on the side there as you're packing up the rest of your stuff to get ready, and it takes the full caravan because you guys, as I mentioned before, after the attack, everybody kind of grouped together. You're getting a later start this morning than normal because of that attack and everybody coming down from the adrenaline rush and everything. So Abaddon, you do kind of glance over and you see Micaiah and Zan. Arik. I do this every time. Talking, and you notice a quick kind of glance over to you from the two of them as they're talking, but then you look away and they look away, and you're not able to discern anything else from the conversation except just that they looked at you, they're talking, and then you just continue going back to
Brushing Baloo. Brushing my horse.
there you go. Is anyone going to do anything else on this morning before you head off, continue on?
Would Zan be able to take a short rest to heal up?
Everybody has the benefit of a long rest. This is the next morning.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you're all
I
set.
thought it was still the same morning.
The goblin attack happened at night, the night before, so.
That's right. Okay.
How is Ed Helry's cart looking? The guy who was robbed.
Yeah, so you can see her, well, she went through her stuff the night before. It's not too bad. Only one of the goblins was able to get away with some stuff. Some of it was smashed, and that has been pulled into sacks and whatnot, but the things that she was carrying were, it was exotic wood, so it's not like, it's worth money, and it's very, very beautiful wood, but it's not like finished or carved into anything special. So for the most part, her stuff is okay. The other wagons, you do end up hearing that not Bade, but the other one, the Moon Elf merchants, the brothers Nuhar and Selvek. So Selvek got pretty badly hurt, and he's recovering. But they did lose probably about like a quarter of their the wooden carvings, like the exquisite wooden carvings with like jewels inlaid and all of this stuff. About a quarter of their stuff was taken, and the you don't know how much was taken from the 3 cultist wagons, but you do know that they lost something. They lost stuff. Braxton looks particularly upset. No, that's fine.
Is there anything
say
still like lying on the ground, or like?
No, you all
Are
did
they
all your
still
cleanup.
picking? Is everything kind of cleaned up?
Yeah, I mean, there's some like straggler items here and there that. Did you want to like try to see if you can help them, or?
Yeah.
Make an investigation check.
Oh, I'm not so bad at that.
Okay.
That works.
Um, so you go around and you're just kind of keeping an eye out as everybody's packing up stuff, and during the night was when most of the cleanup was, and so like you had helped out with your dancing lights to try to give people something to use to look for the things overnight, but now that the sun is out, it's a lot easier, and you do find a huh?
How's that? Apparently, that's how her dancing lights dance.
Well, when she makes them into a human figure, it can be like 5 lights that make a little person, so maybe. Why not? So you do like see something glittering over in the grass close to the Argos's cart, the one who it had broken, and then you guys had to fix it. And you bend down to pick it up, and like just as you're doing that, Minxie comes over, and she was like bending down to pick it up, and she's like, "Oh, hi, Abby. Thanks. I'll take that." And she kind of like firmly but nicely just kind of takes it from your hands, and is like, "Thanks so much for your help," and kind of like and scoots back over to Argos's cart and hands him the little glittering something that you didn't get a good enough look at. Because she came over and took it from you.
Because she's not even from. She wasn't hired to his wagon, is that right?
She is on.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's on Cormina's, I believe.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
Be our boss fight. Watch. Next time there's a boss fight, little halfling Minxie, we thought is just like this like mentally challenged halfling is gonna stroll out, and then she's just like all of a sudden she's gonna rip her shirt off. She's gonna be jacked. She's gonna like just destroy us.
Can I safely say it was like jewelry?
Yeah, it looked
Like
like jewelry, like
stone jewelry, or like silver, or
yeah,
does that...
like silver with gems, or it looked very, very glittery.
I am very disappointed.
Did anybody have any theories as to why some of them were rigged to explode? Was that like talked amongst the entire caravan at night after the thing?
Yeah, so a couple people talked about it as the night went on, but nobody really had any ideas. It was the first time anybody had seen such a thing. They thought it was like maybe one of the theories that went around was like goblins aren't smart enough to do something like that. So, and even like they're hobgoblin masters, not necessarily that smart. So, there was just that was just kind of a statement that was made, is like the goblins aren't that smart. So how like they're crafty and they're creative, but and then like they're usually very very much into self-preservation. So killing yourself is not really a thing that goblins like to do. They'll typically do whatever they can to survive. So you know, blowing yourself up is not a common goblin tactic. Is you know what like Eldkin and Taijit, the two dwarf guards, they kind of are the ones who say that mostly, and they've been on this trip a couple of times between the two of them, so it just strikes them particularly as not a common goblin thing.
Is it common?
We have any idea of how big this raiding party was?
Sorry, hold on, you both talked over. So, Micaiah, what was that?
Is it common for goblins to come in and steal like big, like a large amount of items like they did, or?
Yeah, that's a common thing. Like they'll goblins like shiny things. Goblins like to take stuff. So
That's
they are
normal.
not interested in just killing you just to do it. They want your stuff. So they'll definitely
That part's
do that.
normal. Just them exploding.
Yeah, that tactic is not one that is common. And sorry,
Do we have an idea of the size of the goblin raiding party? Was it did it seem larger than normal goblin raiding parties, or are they generally in this many numbers? Because it seems like they had every wagon pinned down by several at a time.
yeah. So that's not necessarily uncommon either. There were a lot of goblins, and they had a couple of leaders because while you guys got rid of yours, there was, from the conversations that you all had overnight, there definitely was at least one other hobgoblin who was kind of leading them on, which is part of the reason why, like, the conversations that you all have, they're like, again, goblins don't kill themselves. They'll typically run away if they can. So the fact that these ones blew themselves up like that, it's kind of like they had to have been instructed, because they wouldn't normally do such a thing on their own.
Question. Do hobgoblins and goblins usually cavort with each other?
Yeah. So hobgoblins are pretty much like in charge. I mean, goblins don't always have hobgoblins with them, but when they are with them, goblins are tiny and hobgoblins are big. So they have to defer to whatever they want. They're afraid of them.
I'll be right back, guys. I gotta say goodnight to my kid. I'm sorry.
No
I
problem.
didn't do this before I started.
Nope, do your thing.
Let's continue on.
All
Just
right.
don't leave me behind.
You head off, and Arik is left standing motionless in the middle of the field.
Ah.
He's glitched. He's
Leave him.
No, Arik, one more time. We must make out before we leave.
All right, so hold on, I'm gonna fix this also. This is my fixing my thingy music. All right, I'm done. Okay. So, yeah, so you all head out, and nothing else. Any more questions or things you wanted to do before you go? Great.
Nope.
All right, so you head on out for the day, and just continue on. So that was day 24. Erdnot, make a perception check. The day goes on, the night goes on.
let's see.
You
Perception.
Yep.
Fuck
Okay.
me.
Day 25. Nothing really special. The sun comes up. It's a nice, beautiful day. A little bit colder than it had been in the past, but nothing of note. You travel on. Oh, just fixing this thing. And Nat Awesome loves how comfy Aunt Micaiah is getting. That's what she's good at. Doing a little what was it? What was that movie? A little flash. Whoop, whoop. A little underwear flash.
Oh
The
my
other day.
god, yeah.
What was that? Indecent exposure.
Yeah,
Right.
I can't ever
Indecent
remember that
exposure,
phrase or
yeah.
name. So you might be in for a
I'm
treat.
digging
depending on how
the
comfortable she
flamingo
gets.
shirt. That's my
Yeah.
favorite part of Micaiah tonight.
Oh, thank you so much. Appreciate it.
All right, so day 25. Oh, one thing I was thinking when we finally and I might do it before then, but when we finally get to like the 50, I have all those wigs. So one of the things you can do is give people incentives to watch, and they can have they can pay like watch. It's almost like points that you get as you're watching the show or the stream or the channel or whatever. And if you rack up enough points, you can use them to like buy things or really buy things, like legit with real money, sort of. And so one of the things I was thinking is that I can have it when a certain point they can pay for me to pay, like with the points, for me to wear a different wig.
Yeah.
And I'll wear
That's
whatever
fun.
wig. I've got the pink one, the multicolor one, the afro, the really, really short one, the blue mohawk. So I'll just...
I have some to contribute as well.
So
I can
Well, I
throw them in
mean,
the fund.
I'm just saying, I don't have any hair, and if somebody's willing to pay some points, I might do that myself.
Yeah,
I'll wear
it's
a
the
blue
thing we can
mohawk wig.
do. We just have to get to that 50.
Curl wig when I was the Super Mario Brothers Super Show Mario.
There you go. All right, so day 25 goes on without a hitch. Nothing happens. You guys all pack up. Day 26. Erdnot, give me another perception check.
Oh Jesus! Oh, it's getting worse.
All right. So day 26. No, nothing special
Round
happens.
opens up and eats us because Ernot didn't notice.
Rocks fall, you die, as Brian would say. So day 27, the day starts off. It's a little bit drizzly, but by the end of the day, it's nothing to write home about. Another boring day, which is exactly what people want. And that evening, you're all setting up your camp, and you've all gotten kind of comfortable with the way that you've set up your caravans, where like you guys are with Ed Helry and the Hoper, the other couple are there, and then the cultists are on their own, and so it's like a little bit of a spread out deal.
We're no longer circling all the wagons.
That
was just the one night.
That was just kind of the one night. The next night, the cultist wagon definitely pulled apart again. But actually, you know what we'll say is that the 5 of your wagons stay together, and then the cultist wagons stay separate, because that's more likely what would happen. So you're starting to kind of get to know the other wagons a little bit better. And as you're all sitting there, like, you're still very close. It's not like they're 50 feet off or anything. They're there. They're just in their own little triangle. And as you're all sitting there on night 27, after the rain the drizzling has stopped, it's a little bit cooler. Everybody's hanging out around the fire, and suddenly, or not, as you're sitting by the fire, Minxie comes up and just kind of plops down right next to you. And she sits there and she just kind of stares at you. She gets like she's much closer than she's ever been to you. She just sits there and she's like,
Erdnot just kind of tries to ignore her because he's not interested.
And she like leans down and she looks you right in the face and she's like, I've been trying to figure out for the longest time where I know you from, but I just can't seem to get it. You look so familiar. Where do I know you from?
Baldur's Gate.
No, I don't think so. I'll figure it out. She gets up and she kind of wiggles back over to the
sachets.
Yeah, she's sachets away to the
My hair show.
other group there.
Ernot doesn't like that, or her. He takes out his
Shocking.
hand axe and just begins to sharpen it.
Or her.
All right. Fixing your camera here. All right. Okay, so that is day 27. So, day 28.
Did we?
Oh,
Sorry. Did anybody else see her approach Erdy like that?
Make a perception check for me.
God damn it! Worst perception.
But always the one who asks.
I know.
Actually, yeah. So Avedon, you kind of keep an eye out for
Minxie.
Minxie because she's just caught your eye, and
Cute. And my shiny things.
right. And so yeah, you notice her sit down next to Erdnot, and you notice her kind of stare at him for a second, and you see the interaction, but there's also a lot going on. So like you don't necessarily hear what she says, but you see Erdnot's face afterwards, and he always is a little like. But after she gets up and leaves, you see him take out his axe and just start sharpening it. So you notice. Okay.
They're not sitting by the fire by himself.
No, everybody's around the fire, but everybody's around the fire. There's like a lot of talking going on. Like there's a lot of stuff happening all around. There's like 20-something people all around. I think with the 6 of you plus everybody outside of the cult, there's probably like 21 people, something like that. So there's just a lot going on.
Do we have anybody on watch?
Yeah, in general, the guards, like you guys all do a watch.
Gotcha.
We have a feeling for an idea what everyone else seems to think of this aloof little halfling. The rest of the caravan.
If you are you like asking someone, like how are you discerning? Are you trying to like watch people?
Over this 27 days, like between people like interacting with her and talking with her and seeing what she does and stuff, like would we get, or okay, so I guess I'll speak for myself, would not get the feeling that people dismiss her because she acts so flighty, or are people misgiving of her?
It depends on who you're talking about. So, if you're watching out, you'll notice that like the people who are outside of the cultist wagon just kind of think she's funny. Green Imsa like also really seems to enjoy her company, but it's almost although Green Imsa is green and really stands out, it's almost like she's making fun of her a little bit. Like she's like she finds it funny to hang out with her. When you're talking about the cultists, they don't. It's almost like they ignore her in a way. They not ignore her in a bad way. They just kind of like act as if everything she's doing is completely 100% normal. So it all depends on who you're watching and what you're kind of looking for a little bit.
I'm just gonna keep an eye on her.
All right. So the next day comes, and Erdnut, you can actually give me an insight check.
I got +2 on that.
Show off.
Hey.
So throughout the
Hey.
day 28, as you're doing, you guys are, you pack up your stuff, you're on your way, you're traveling. It's another fairly quiet day, but you catch Minxie. She's usually very, very focused while she's riding, like she's a teamster on that wagon. She's the one in charge of making sure the horses go where the horses need to go, and she's usually very, very focused on that. But throughout the day, you start to notice when you look over at her, she's looking at you, and when you guys take your breaks and like your group is all talking together, like you'll look over and Minxie is kind of like a little closer than she normally was ever before. And when you're sitting and eating, she's like kind of because it's Minxie, like now I'm getting this funny view in my head of this little halfling just kind of like standing in a corner like but that's kind of what you start to notice that she's doing, and her normal like flighty kind of dancey behavior as the day goes on, it's not as much. She's not as happy-go-lucky especially when she's looking at you. And you start to get the impression that she may recognize you, or is starting to recognize you from somewhere, or is at least believing that she recognizes you from somewhere.
DM,
Oh.
do I notice? Would I notice if she's acting differently from when we first met?
You can roll an insight check as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hey.
That a nat 20? Good for you.
Yeah. Baby.
Yeah. You definitely, like, you had taken the time to get to know her, and you definitely see that you, as you're watching, can see that every time she looks at Erdnot specifically, like, she might be, like, joking and laughing and, like, doing a little dance with, like, Philok during your breaks and stuff, but when she catches a glimpse of Erdnot, she kind of, like, stops and takes a look, and you notice that you are noticing as well that him in particular, he's changed her demeanor noticeably, for anybody who cared about Minxie.
Course of the day, I would have discreetly to each member of the group would have said, brought up Minxie to them and said something along the lines of, she's going to be trouble. Be ready.
The cute little halfling? That little thing? No trouble there. Come on.
Prepare your blade, son. She is going to be trouble.
Can I approach, or when Erdnot does speak to me about Minxie, I'd like to ask him, or I'd like to note to him that she's acting pretty strange toward you. Do you know each other?
I don't think so. Haven't made many halfling acquaintances, especially ones like that one.
Yeah,
She may
she's kind of a
recognize me
nut.
from the. She may recognize me from the camp, but I don't know why it would have taken this long for her to figure it out.
Is she afraid of you?
That's not fear, I see.
Recognize you from the camp.
It's the only thing I can think of. I don't believe that we stood out then, but this halfling has a different perception on life, apparently.
Well, you also remember were tied up to posts for several hours, like a good 8 hours or so, for the whole
So
camp
much drinking.
to see you. when you guys got captured in that raiders camp. So you wouldn't necessarily. That's why when I describe like you don't recognize per se particular faces. You saw a lot of faces that night as you guys were tied up like on that post, and people kind of like passed by or maybe spit on you or whatever. Like you were going to die
Aw.
the next day, so there were a lot of faces that walked by you and may or may not have seen you.
Well, in this same conversation, I'll say, "Well, Ernie, if you think she recognizes you, we should do something. What? Because she's part of all the cultists. They're going to know. If she's suspicious, what should we do?" I'm kind of panicked.
It's nothing to do yet. Hopefully, I'm wrong. But if I'm right, maybe they won't believe her because she's such an idiot.
Maybe she's smarter than we think.
That is a possibility.
Okay, Ernie.
But we
Well, let
cannot take
me
all of
know.
them on.
No, of course not. But I did bring my makeup kit. Maybe we could paint a little tear tattoo on your face or something.
I believe it's too late for that.
Like, where did that go? Who's in here?
Who's this guy?
Well, just you let me know if I can do anything to help, okay? She's a little weird, but who isn't?
Prepare your firebolt.
Aye, aye, Captain.
All right.
I'll skip, like, kind of just like walk away frivolously.
I'm the new Minxie.
Well, we did play in the field, and I caught that vibe.
All right.
Got the Minxie.
So the next day, the same thing. Like you guys pack up. As you're packing up in the morning, you look over, and like there's Minxie. She's kind of like over and out and like to the side, and she's got a little bouquet of flowers that she's smelling. And then she looks up and she sees you looking Erdnut, and she's just like,
It's creepy as fuck.
and then she walks away. And throughout the day, again, just everything that you do, there she is. And she, at a certain point, like about midday, when you guys take your midday rest to let the horses do their thing, she comes up to you and she just like sits down on right next to you again, and she looks at you. She's like, I remember where I know you from now. You were in the Raiders camp, right outside of Greenest. Weren't you?
What? From the where?
She just stands
What
up.
are you talking about, halfling?
Oh, I thought he was frozen.
Oh, he's been frozen on mine. He has this
Yeah.
like
Frozen on
really
mine, but I can
like
hear his
big
voice.
scowl.
She's like, right outside of Greenest. That's where I
crap.
know your face.
I don't know what you're talking about or where that is. Why don't you go pick some flowers? There's pretty purple ones over there.
Roll me
Oh,
a deception
no, he's being
check.
cute.
Deception?
Yeah.
Oh
Oh
no!
no.
Yeah.
Oh no!
She smiles and she pulls some flowers out from her back pocket, and she's like, I already have some, thanks. And then she gives you a little like and skips over to her group there.
Oh!
Over to Zan, and I tell him to send everybody a message through his magic quiver that we I have to fight our way out of here.
First question Zan is going to ask is, why?
The little halfling idiot has made me out from being at the raiders camp.
Okay, so she's made you. Do you think she suspects the rest of us?
I can't say.
And as I'm having this conversation, start relaying the info to everyone that we might be made, and it might be a good time for Abaddon to go speak with her new friend to see if she suspects all of us or just Erdnot.
I catch the quiver, and I put all that information into my head.
The beams. The beams.
The internet beams.
Quiver beams.
Alright.
Okay.
I'm,
Go ahead.
once I get that message, I'm gonna look over and I'm gonna walk over to Erdnot and I'm just gonna shadow his general area, doing the typical like bodyguard type behavior. Just a couple paces behind, just making sure he's covered at all times.
About what time of day is it?
It's like lunchtime, a little bit past lunchtime. Midday.
Okay, I'm gonna grab a. Let's see. Is anybody near me? Are any of my group near me?
Sure. Wherever you want them to be, or wherever you are in relation. I guess it depends on what you're trying to do.
Okay. Now that I have the message, I am going to. Let's see. I'm gonna grab a stone out of the bag of holding. I'm just trying to decide which one it could be that would make her happy, as like a little gesture.
Mm-hmm.
Also known as a bribe.
We take two.
Maybe, huh?
I said
What'd you
maybe
say?
take two.
We take two. Okay, why don't I take the 3 tiger's eyes that we looted last time, and I'm just gonna have them in my hands, and I'm gonna mosey on over to Minxie. Is she eating lunchtime, or is she with the horses? Maybe
she's she's actually back with the group, but kind of over to the side. She's not eating. She's like looking at her flowers and like picking the petals off and looking at them, and she's like inspecting her flowers right now.
What color flowers are they? Purple?
Sure. Purple flowers.
Damn it. I don't have any purple stones.
You're the one who threw out purple.
I know. I think I was just thinking purple from before. Anyway, okay. So I'll take the tiger's eyes and I'll walk over to her and I'm gonna say, "Oh my God, those are beautiful flowers. They're so purple."
She's like, "Hi, Avi. Thank you. I
Where'd
found
you
them.
find them at? In the field?
Yeah, right over there.
They're beautiful.
I know.
I know, Minxie. I know that you like shiny things.
I
right?
love shiny things. How did
You're
you know?
not gonna believe it. Well, I feel like you and I we have a lot of things we like that are the same things.
I mean, we're essentially twins. That's what I've been telling everybody in my group.
Nuh-uh.
Yeah.
I've been telling my group that too.
You would not even be able to tell us apart.
I know. Oh
It's like sisters.
God. I love it. Well, since you feel the same way that I feel, I want to share something with you.
Is it a secret? Because I love secrets and I am so good at keeping secrets.
You keep secrets?
I'm so good at it.
How many secrets do you have?
I have so many secrets. You would not even believe it.
Listen, okay. I love secrets, and I'm probably the best at keeping secrets too. And if you tell me a secret, I can give you something really shiny and special.
I would not be the best secret keeper if I just told you my secrets. I just told you I'm the best secret keeper. I'm not going to tell you any secrets.
Macy, come
That's not how
on,
this
we're
works.
sisters.
Listen,
We're sisters.
sisters have innate connections with each other. I'll just think a secret real hard, and then if you know it, then we know we're really sisters. So hold on. There. I just shared a secret with you.
Oh my gosh. Is it supposed to come right away?
I mean, I
Or
guess
did
it
you
depends on the strength of the connection.
Aww.
Sorry.
Can you try again?
Yeah.
It literally sounds like you talking to one of your preschoolers.
It was just when she said she
This
had,
entire
I've got 3
conversation, I'm like,
really
he's so
shiny
innocent
rocks.
because Minxie sounds
Yeah.
like a preschooler.
Like, did you get it that
Lord's
time?
like, no way. No
Listen,
way.
Minxie, I am going to send one to you. You tell me if you can hear it, okay?
All right.
Okay, now concentrate really, really hard and don't mess around because this is important, okay?
Am I supposed to close my eyes?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
Closes her eyes.
No, don't.
Her eyes are closed.
Cast firebolt.
Give her a belly.
Kill her.
You're probably only about 10 feet away from the rest of the camp. You're not like
Yeah,
you guys
I'm
didn't
not
unless
gonna
you
kill her.
Yeah, you didn't go anywhere. So
Okay, I'm going to pretend to send her a message.
okay.
I don't know what to do. My plan went to shit.
It's like
You have a plan.
I don't hear it. And she kind of like opens her eye to look at you.
Oh, thanksy. I think there's just something in the air that's going on tonight. It's just not working. I'm just gonna say it out loud, okay?
Okay.
And I'll pass you a stone when I do. Or I'll give you a stone after you tell me a good secret. But I'll start.
I told you I don't tell secrets. That's how I'm the best secret keeper.
Just watching this, just like going like this.
You can be if that's the truth. If Art Nut's over like watching. They're not too far away, so you would be able to hear if you're paying attention. You can hear.
Okay, ready, Minxie? I think
I'm ready.
I think that Eric and Micaiah were making out.
What?
I know. It was dirty. Okay.
I know.
Yeah, it was.
Does anybody make out in your team?
There is so much tongue.
She's like, well, I can tell you this because it's actually not a secret. Nobody told me. I just kind of know because I've been paying attention. But Philip and James, they kind of take off together sometimes. So I bet they be banging.
That's something. That's something. Minxie, is there any other gossip or anything that goes on in that camp? You guys are just up front. What about that Erdnot guy? I don't know much about him. Do you?
Erdnot? Didn't he hire you? You don't know much about him?
Barely. I don't know these people very much. I'm just a hired help. I'm just a traveler, really. Why? Have you heard anything? Should I be worried?
No, I haven't heard anything.
What'd you say? I couldn't hear. Hi, Jane.
She says, no, I haven't heard anything. Nothing at all.
All right. All right. Well, I'll share one of these tiger's eyes with you anyway. Just because I like spending time with you. So I'll give her one.
Oh, thank you. Here, you can
Thanks,
have one of
baby.
these, and she hands you a like crushed purple flower. She's like, I love that one extra special.
You're the best.
No,
See you
you're the
later.
best.
60 feet away.
See
Is
ya.
she 60 feet away from me? Or within 60 feet of me?
it's a
Probably
10
only like
10 feet,
30 to, like you guys are over in your thing. They were about 10 feet away from like the cultist camp area, so you're probably like 30, less than 30 feet.
She's within range. Erdnot's been watching this exchange not go well. I am going to cast Command on her.
Okay.
She has to make a Wisdom saving throw. I speak a one-word command to a creature that I can see within range of up to 60 feet. Target must succeed on a Wisdom saving throw or follow the command on its next turn. The spell has no effect if the target is undead, it doesn't understand your language, or if your command is directly harmful to it. Will that apply here? Will that work? Like, we're not in combat, so...
It depends on what your command is. And well, hold on. Let me roll her. What do I have to? What's the DC?
Where the hell is that?
It's your whatever your spell DC is. It should be on your
8.
thingy.
It should be 8.
Save
plus
DC is... My save DC is 12. Spell plus 4? Spell... That's...
Hold on.
12's the DC. It's 8 plus your proficiency plus your spell casting modifier.
Hold on, say that again. It's the what? Plus the what? Plus the who?
It's 8. You start with a base of 8. You add your proficiency, and then you add your score. I think you add your charisma, proficiency, and 8.
It should tell you under spells, I think. Hold on. Your save DC is 12. Okay, got it.
Okay, that's what I thought. Right, that's okay. That's what I said. I was confused.
And
I'm
so
new.
did me and Erdnot that were standing by the side, did we hear all that or no?
Yeah, anybody who if you were paying attention and you were listening, you would have heard. You would have heard it.
Because I was literally standing right over Erdnot's shoulder.
Yeah, so you're like
So
you're like 30 feet away, and they weren't like hi, the Mark Knight is hosting us on their channel. They were I mean, so when somebody hosts us, it means that like their channel, while they're offline, shows our stream through their channel.
Ooh, okay, cool.
What was I saying? So yeah, you could hear most of what Minxie said because she was just loud, and like, portion of what Avedon was saying from that far away. So, what command word do you speak?
Forget.
What does it say? Hold on one second.
If it doesn't say, like, if it fails, it doesn't say, like, they know what happened or anything like that. I know some spells, like, if they fail, like, they know, like, you tried to do something magically to them, but that doesn't have that.
Yeah. You notice, so you do that, and the both of you are kind of standing there, in your camp, looking over, and as Avedon, Avedon, are you walking away or?
Yes.
Right. So as Avedon walks away, you look over, and
I give up.
And Minxie looks over at you, Erdnot, and she's like,
Eee.
And then she.
Hey, after I cast the command spell.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
And
boy.
then she.
Wait, but she doesn't
turns-
know I did it, right?
No, she just sees you looking at her. So now Abaddon's walking away. She looks back over to you because she's been eyeing you for a while, and so she sees you looking, and she's just like. And then she smiles and takes her pretty gem, and then flits away over to the rest of the cultist group. You get the impression that your command didn't work.
Annoying.
So
I get it.
Abaddon's walking back towards us then?
Yeah.
As she walks by, I'm gonna put my hand on her shoulder. Just as she walks by, I'm gonna lean in and I'm gonna say, "You used my fucking name. Thank you." In heavy sarcasm. Yeah, you did. And I'm just gonna just pat her I'm just gonna pat her on the shoulder, shake my head, because I know this is not gonna go well for me later. And I'm just gonna walk away.
All right, so the day goes on.
Fuck.
Can Dan just kind of just do that Homer Simpson meme where he just backs into the
Into the
hedges
bushes?
and
Into the
disappear?
As soon as
Roll
you
for
said it,
cringe.
as soon as you said it, I was gonna say, as soon as you said it, I was just like, ah. Fuck.
Well, yep, that sounds about right. That's something
Can't
that
take it
I would
back.
do.
At least you didn't notice.
Yeah.
So
Did they in the camp? I don't remember. Did they get our names?
No.
I don't
No.
think they ever got our names.
nope.
They never asked us.
They
so at least
got
that's fine.
Vidania's name as Ellen, I believe it was. I'm pretty sure she said her name was
Right.
Ellen. So, so yeah.
Yes.
And like cult leadership that would have really known who we are is dead. Like
Okay,
all of
fair
them.
enough, yeah.
At least we think so.
All of those that were there that night are dead. Remember, like we killed one. And
So
then,
Fulam and Cyanrath are gone. There were a lot of people.
Yeah.
You guys ran into a couple of second level, cultists with
There's
the
a lot of pairs of eyes.
there were people who saw you. But I mean, whether or not they'd recognize you. So the day goes on, and
Okay, that was like what 2 months ago at this point, when we were in the camp.
Make me pull up my my calendar.
Like January or February.
Yeah, that's something I didn't think about. My would my hair start growing in at that point? Because I'm not shaving my head anymore. Would it like slowly start to grow in?
He just wants to wear a wig.
Once a week.
Yes.
Not in game.
I mean, it's really up to you guys how you like groom, I guess. So you can continue to shave, and that's fine. But
No, I would actually let it grow because
oh, okay.
I don't want to
Yeah.
shave my beard to mask my thing. But if I had a little bit of hair, maybe I'd look a little different than the guy on the poster.
Yeah, it has been let's see, it has been so the weeks are 10 days long, so it is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
I'm gonna grow a black, luxurious mane of hair. in game. Since I can't in real life.
It's
Dreams do come true.
Should have saved my purple hair for you.
been
I know,
it's been
right?
about 60 days.
Purple wig.
And we have about 10 viewers right now, so say hi everybody.
Ooh.
Hi everybody.
Hi.
Hello.
Hey.
Hello
I
world.
think that's
So
the
they
most
got
we've
to
ever
see
had.
they got to see my epic fuck ups right there. That's
Yeah.
great.
So
Let's keep that going.
You tried. You tried.
yeah, it's
Not
been
only
about
did
60
you-
days since then. 2 months is
Not
a
only
long
did you-
time to like have not seen people, so you're not sure if she recognizes you. She just told you that she recognizes you from the camp, but that's a vague statement. So, yeah, day 30. Same thing.
Is she getting closer? Like, am I gonna wake up one morning and she's just like in my sheets?
Maybe.
That's
Possible.
That's hot.
Crazy.
Internet is full of
Might
that kind
find
of
a
porn.
horse head in your sheets.
All right, so day 30. It's morning, and you guys are all packing up as normal. You go through the motions, like you march for a little while, you guys chat a little bit, and you guys take a break, you have lunch, and as you guys are setting up your Nat Awesome thinks that she's got a crush on you or not. So you've got nothing to worry about. She's just enamored. So
Once I checked, this wasn't enamored.
um so you guys are all setting up for the night on the 30th day of travel. And Erdnot, you look over and you see Minxie, and she's looking at you, but this time there's like no smile, and she's just kind of giving you like the squinty eye, like and she ends up sitting by herself over in the cultist camp, and she's just sitting there, like, looks like she's deep in thought, and she keeps looking over at you, and you start to get this feeling of like, okay, she's getting closer to figuring out, or at least it's not a happy recognition. And so, like, you have a choice to either do something about it or wait and see what happens at this point. Like, looking at her, you're like, okay, my options here are, she is getting very, very close to some kind of epiphany or something, and you've got a decision to make.
I'll walk over and sit next to her.
Okay. You walk over, and she looks up at you, and she
she
almost kind
brings
of
some
like,
stones.
she almost like jumps a little bit, and she's like within view of the cultist area, but you notice that she does kind of flitter around a lot, and she hangs out on the outskirts a little bit. So she's sitting on this like stump outside, still within view. The fires are all getting started, like the two fires of the two groups, and you sit down next to her, and she jumps a little bit as you sit down. She doesn't say anything, probably for the first time. Sorry, go ahead.
I would do the bodyguard thing and just stay a respectful distance away, but close enough to where I could be of help if something happened.
Right. So like 15 feet?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
She doesn't say anything, she just looks at you.
So Ernot sits next to her and is not really looking at her. He's just kind of like looking off, nowhere in particular, and says, "So where do you think you recognize me from? You say some camp."
And she actually doesn't respond. She just looks at you, like she's looking at the ground a little bit, and she kind of looks at you from her, like, the side. She's like, she doesn't say anything.
You know, we're instructed not to talk about the camp. Did they not tell you that?
She's like,
Oh my god.
what I don't understand is why you're with that group.
Because we're supposed to be incognito and infiltrate other groups, get information.
Make a deception check.
Oh dear.
Oh god, I gotta see this.
Oh
Let's
dear.
go, Ernie.
Oh.
Oh my
That's
god.
and that's with a +2. Oh,
It's with a +2.
She's like,
strong 4. It's a strong 4.
Strongest 4 you'll ever see.
she's like, I don't know, I think I'm gonna go talk to Braxton. And she stands up and doesn't really look at you,
She's just leaving.
Let her go.
Oh god.
and like kind of like shuffles. She doesn't go directly towards Braxton in this moment. She just shuffles into the cultist camp area.
Before she gets too far, can I try an intimidation? Because that's like my highest one. Like as
Yeah,
she
what do you
gets up
get
and
us?
says she's gonna talk to Braxton, can I just say, like sternly, "You can," but when he gets angry at you for talking, what are you going to do then? Like kind of, yeah.
Okay, you can roll an intimidation.
Getting desperate. Should have stabbed her. Oh shit!
So
Nobody would have
Oh.
noticed.
she gets up and she goes to walk and she takes a step and you say that and she stops in her tracks. And she's like, something's not right here. I don't know what to do. And she kind of like moves away from you, goes into the camp area with the cultists, but she just sits by herself. She doesn't go over to Braxton. She doesn't talk to anybody.
Aw.
But you look over too, and you can see Braxton, who's always paying attention to everything. Like, he looks over at you and looks over at Minxie. And looks back at you. And then he just kind of turns and goes back to whatever it is that he's doing. But he saw you, her move away from you. He doesn't look like he's overly super interested, but he sees a lot.
Turn around, walk back to Eckert, and I say, "We might be good for now, but we should probably get rid of her when we can. Find Zan,
Just say
spread the
word.
message to just be prepared
I would
with his
one by
magic
one.
quiver."
I would go
Ew.
over to Zan and relay that message that we might have a problem with Minxie that we have to take care of.
Just
Zan
be
will
ready at
tell
any minute.
Zan will just tell everyone to be ready in case Minxie spills it.
Eckert's the only one who's in on the plan of next time she's out in the woods frolicking alone, we're digging a small grave.
Oh.
All right, so you
Okay.
you guys are going to be paying attention to see if you can find her alone. Is what you're saying.
Oh, absolutely, yes.
Okay.
The second Avedon tells me, "Oh, I just got a plan, Avedon. Would you mind being an accessory to murder?"
Can I get my stone back?
her.
I need
I'd say so.
I need flowers for my apparently my new fake half girlfriend, half elf girlfriend. So maybe she can help me find pretty flowers
I
for
ain't fake. I'm a real. I'm a real girl.
that. Real all woman.
All
Okay.
woman.
Is there like a spot? Is it nighttime? Or it's nighttime, right? You said?
It's getting to be night. Yeah,
Are we camping
there,
where
like,
we are?
you're gonna
Okay.
camp. Yeah,
Is
you
there
guys
like
are
a
setting up.
spot that that we could talk privately, like,
Yeah,
and
of
not
course.
be overly conspicuous to
I
like,
mean,
'cause
talking a bunch
I've
of
been afraid.
guards. You these are your guards and you hired them, so I would say like you can pull your group aside and it wouldn't be overly suspicious because these are your people. You hired them. You know want to talk to them. So I think you could get away with it.
Okay, I'd say I guess it's early enough. Is the sun up? Well, it's fall, so the sun's probably down anyways. So
No,
I
the
would
sun's
have
going down.
I would have Vidania and Micaiah not be part of this conversation and look like they're doing guard stuff, and
Okay.
then Zan can relay what we're going to talk about to them, so they're in on the plan. But right now, it'll be me, Zan, and Avedon, and it'll look like I guess I'm. Do we have a map of like where we're heading to with us?
You don't have a map, but Micaiah is familiar with this route. This is further north than than the rest of you have been. But Micaiah, oh well, actually, further north along the road than the rest of you have been, but except for Micaiah. So she's familiar with where you're at. You're like on your way
I didn't-
like between the Misty Forest and the Troll. I think it's the Troll Bark Forest. What's it called?
Troll claw.
Troll claws.
There you go, Troll Claw.
I'd have been this way too, but probably not long enough since it was just a straight ride to not really pay attention to.
Right. Yeah.
Alright. So as you know, the halfling is becoming a problem. She knows I was in the raiders camp, and I tried to deceive her. It did not work per se, but it's bought us some time. I don't know how much. I think we have to stage an accident. Now, my thinking is Avedon, you're friendly with the creature.
Mm-hmm.
Perhaps we, at one of our next stops, you lure her away to do the frolicking nonsense that she does. And then, Eckert, you jump out of a bush and cut her in half.
Damn.
That looks like an accident.
She fell.
Quarter elf.
Oh no, there's
I
been
need
an
plans, people.
accident.
Zan, you're part of this group
Falling
not
in
only
half.
to relay to the others, but you're a wise half-elf. I value your opinions. We need to come up with a fucking mosquito. Yeah.
Oh, no, we lost him. Well, first off, I don't think that plan is accident.
Oh, one
just-
swipe. She's tiny. Clean in half.
Right. I think we need to remember though, without some sort of outside force, the cult is going to be looking to whoever is in the caravan.
What about goblins?
I didn't bring
I
any
don't
with
know
me.
any goblin.
No, we could
Um,
blame it on goblins.
But
That wouldn't be
the
their
cult-
their plan of attack.
the cult would be looking to those in the caravan, and she's made it fairly obvious that she has at least a dislike for you. I fear you would be the first suspect if she goes missing.
Perhaps we wait till we're in rough terrain, and then we push her off a cliff or down a rock face.
How long, or not, does that spell of yours, that command spell, last?
It didn't work. I mean, I could try it again.
Right. Well,
I mean,
If-
I am not one on the side for murder. I respect kill or be killed. She
We will
Could-
be killed.
She could tell, but if she hasn't already, there's something stopping her. Perhaps more diplomacy might be a way to either lure her away or at least bury your secret in her.
Ew.
With
Phrasing.
axe.
Me and Abaddon were all over that one. Well, if we could lure her out in a non-lethal way, maybe you could try to use that command spell on her. How long does it last? Do you know?
I was gonna say, I'm assuming it lasts
They will.
indefinitely.
So I'll give you that. It didn't work, but also just saying forget to someone, it's too vague. You know, like what do you want them to forget? It's a little bit too vague. So like the types of things that you can get them to do is like, halt or run. Or stuff like that, like saying forget. So it didn't work, and so it didn't matter at that time. But you'd need something a little bit more specific, like the examples that they give, like drop. They drop what they're holding, or flee,
How long
or
does it last
Just
for,
told her
though?
to die. What if
they
you
can't
said
hurt
die?
themselves.
Yeah, can't hurt them.
Yeah.
But if we told her
fall
if he told her to run, would she just
No way.
run in the direction she's facing and just keep running forever until she collapses?
It only lasts like they'll do what they will try to do the command, but the duration is 1 round, which means 6 seconds. So you want it's like meant to kind of like gain control of someone for just
Gotcha.
quickly.
Damn.
She won't run
I was gonna
forever
say, we
like
could
Forrest
just-
Gump or anything. She'll just
And that
Oh,
was
yeah.
running.
I like running.
Well, if you absolutely have to kill her, I would actually recommend me and Makai going out into the woods, and then Abaddon going to Minxie and be like, hey, you want to see something icky and gross? Come here.
We have a new
And then,
follower,
you know-
Lord Nikto. Thanks, Lord
Oh,
Nikto.
Not royalty following us. We have kings, lords.
Yeah.
Us
I know,
lonely
do it
peasants.
following us, would you?
Oh,
He
you
just
froze.
popped up. I didn't hear anything you said.
Uh,
So basically, to reiterate, if we have to kill her, what I'm saying, this sounds like a sociopath. If we absolutely have to kill the halfling, I suggest we lure her out to be a voyeur on a makeout session, and then we whack her.
okay, but
You whack her off.
It's a good idea.
Whack her off during the makeout session.
and how is that any different from me asking you to cut her in half?
She's a
The same plan.
Because I think that you should be one. If you declare the sentence of death, you should swing the axe.
I would gladly, but I cannot be seen near her. There is already Braxton watches all. He's a dwarf. He pays attention to detail. I know.
Either way, I think Zan's right. I don't think we have to kill her just yet.
Okay, well,
And I
Abaddon,
still have
you
no
connect
target
with the
target.
simpleton.
Mm-hmm.
How can we dissuade her? You already tried.
Mm-hmm. I mean, if she recognizes you, she recognizes you. I don't know anything about her. Why wouldn't she tell them? If you belong to a cult, you're gonna tell.
That is true.
Is that
So,
Vidania, roll me a perception check.
yeah, but Donnie, you've
Dear,
been really
this
quiet during all
taking
this.
too long.
4. Wait, no. 7.
7. Okay, you're keeping an eye out for stuff, but you're also kind of like waiting for the like little buzz in your ear before you get a message from Zan, that's coming every once in a while with little tidbits of like what is being said. So you're a little distracted during your
getting
watch.
echoes of proper enough. They get the echoes of this every other word of this conversation.
All right, so what are you guys planning?
What do you guys want to do? You want to kill her, or you guys want to see what happens?
Zan, murder.
Yeah, you're too honorable for all this messy nonsense. We know.
I'm not there, right? So I
Abaddon.
can't chime in.
We know
Well, I
you're.
mean, you're being caught up by Zan. He's sending both you and Micaiah just like, you know, the gist of what, or at least I think that's what you said you were doing. So like you can opine. You just would have to kind of go back over to them and let them know what your thoughts are.
Okay.
I'll since Zan wants nothing to do with this, he'll walk and relieve Anya if they want. Go and help murder the halfling.
So Vidania, you head over to the group where Erdnot and Arik and Abaddon are.
As I heard what you're thinking. Maybe if we need a way to off her, we could wait till we're under attack by something else and then make it seem like it was killed by that. Like if a goblin attack happens again.
Possibility. We don't know when we're gonna be attacked, and she could out us before then.
Maybe we should cause a distraction.
You want to attract some goblins.
Vidania's just gonna stand out in the middle of the woods with her shirt up.
Distraction.
Come out of
yet?
the hills.
I was gonna see those creepy little goblins.
Come out.
Some kind of creeps are gonna come out. Oh.
You got your
I was gonna
TNA
say.
right here, your tits and arrows. Tits and arrows right here.
You're nice.
Babes.
I was gonna say you almost sounded like Harley Quinn on that one somehow.
Get your tits and arrows.
Tits and arrows right here. So
arrows, Mr. J.
all right, so what's your plan? Are you gonna wait or are you gonna try to lure her into the woods?
What do you guys think?
I say we kill her.
I say we kill her. Let's lure her in the woods.
Okay, but we have to
Looks
think
like-
about the repercussions afterwards.
What are the repercussions if we leave her alive? Then we have a whole bunch more people we gotta kill.
It could
Do
be
you
just as bad if they suspect us right away, or suspect me.
Ernie, do you think that you can convince her that you're just part of the cult?
I've tried.
Well,
She
can
said
you keep
something
talking?
doesn't feel right. I'm not a talker.
Do we still in the bag of holding have those robes?
Do we?
Oh,
I thought
very-
oh, I
Maybe
thought we
you-
were done.
Very
Maybe you could-
expensive rope.
Maybe you could flash her, bring her over, flash her the robe, and tell her that you really are part of them.
I don't think we have
Ooh.
a dwarf-sized robe, but
Listen, we have
You don't have to
brooches.
put it on.
Yeah,
We have
the map.
brooches.
Yeah,
Yeah, what?
Oh no, I'm not there.
Yeah,
Tira.
we have those necklaces that signified.
Yeah, the little brooches. That say your second
Alright.
level. The blue ones.
Alright, I
They
will
all
have,
wearing brooches?
No, I'm not gonna wear it. I'm just gonna flash it to her. Like
Undercover.
like
Yeah.
an FBI
Undercover
badge.
I knew
That's
some kind of
illegal.
flashing would work. What I say?
I say,
This
alright,
is-
alright. Hand me the badge that Abaddon.
Okay.
We're playing a dangerous fucking game here. Holy shit.
Stressing
You
me out.
really are.
Okay, I'll hand it to you. It's a blue gem cultist brooch with the double line. which means you're like more important than just the regular guy. So keep that in mind. I think.
But you're
Native.
remember, you're like undercover.
Right. And if this doesn't work,
Then we kill her.
Do you wear gloves or not?
no.
Maybe you should.
Maybe you should put some gloves on.
Oh, Christ.
All right, huddle's over.
All right.
I go
So-
say, all right, now that you're plugged, now get back to work.
Do you want me to go get her and bring her over?
No, that's too in your nose. I have to wait until he's like alone or eyeballing me again.
All right. Are you watching her
Always.
now? Okay. All right. So the evening wears on. You guys all have your plan set. Your plan is to flash the badge.
The brooch.
The brooch.
Yes, to discreetly show her.
Okay. So the night wears on, and at a certain point, like around like 8, 9 o'clock, the like the outskirts of your little camp are like kind of lit up by all these little fireflies, and or not, you're watching her specifically, and so you notice this is like one of her favorite times of night, and so she ends up like running out, not too far, but out on the outskirts of her cultist camp, probably about say like 30 35 feet away from the camp, and she's just like laughing to herself and like trying to catch the little fireflies and then catching them, and they're in her hands, and she's out there just doing her minxie thing by herself.
Halflings have dark vision.
No.
Excellent. I see her. I turn to Eckert. I say, "Go in the shadows and flank her, and just wait."
I don't.
And then I get up.
I have disadvantage on stealth. Might not be a good idea to send me. But I'll go anyways if
What
you want.
else? No one else can
Okay.
cut her in half with one swipe, besides me.
Okay.
All right. All right. Never mind. I just tell him to just watch.
Well, do you want me to
And
follow
then-
you like I did before, 15 feet behind?
No,
Bodyguard
just
style?
stay where you are and just watch. I think too many people approaching her is just gonna look too suspicious. So like I'll head over in her direction, but not get like super close, and
Okay.
then I just so that she can see me, and I say, "Minxie," and I just kind of do the come hither nod.
She kind of like stops in her tracks. Make a persuasion check.
Oh god, oh god, oh god, oh god.
Oh, what did I just? Is that me? Persuasion.
She's ready.
Kaya,
So she's got a
Nice.
little
Like
firefly in her
running.
hand, and she's like, "Hey," and she steps over to where you are.
I said, "You didn't believe me at first. I figured I would prove to you." And then I just kind of like this, just kind of just show her so she could see, but no, discreetly, because supposed to be undercover and not showing that we're culty. And then I just put it down real quick.
All right. So you showed her the blue one, right?
Yeah, well, the 2 lines in it, was it?
But it's a blue gem.
Two.
Yeah, it's a blue gem.
Blue gem on there.
Wait,
Okay.
didn't we have a red one too? We had blue and red, didn't we? Or do we only have 2 blue ones?
I think you just had the blue. Maybe
I
a
think we
green?
just had 2 blue.
I think like a red guy yelled at us at
Yeah.
some
Oh,
point.
that's what it was. Yep. Good call.
Make a deception check again.
Come on, buddy.
Dude, I have to pee so bad.
Go pee. It's
No, this is fucking
it.
intense.
It's in it now.
Whew. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
Not
then
bad, not bad.
that bladder's crying.
That's not bad.
Yeah.
Pretty good.
Let me make my
That's
roll.
a-
All right.
Come on.
DM rolled a 35.
A nat 30. So she looks at it and she's like, oh. So why do they have you with the rest of these people? Why aren't you with us? Are you spying on them?
Yes, it's a secret mission from Frulam herself.
That's good.
I was sorry to hear about what happened to her. That's really sad.
Yes, it's sad days.
So does Braxton know already?
No, none of them know. Frulam asked very few of us with this mission.
So it's a secret.
Yes.
I
Very
am
secret.
so good at keeping secrets. You have no
Or not
idea.
tries really, really hard to force a smile and goes, yes, that's good to hear.
Looks like the deleted scene from Terminator 2.
Yeah.
Arnold tries to smile.
He's like, that secret I can keep. I won't tell anyone. I won't even tell Abaddon. Even though she's really great, and I'm sure, that you hired her because she's very skilled, I won't even tell her. Secrets are safe with me.
That's what I like to hear. They'll be very happy with you when this mission is over.
Okay. She holds up the symbol, her hand to you.
I hold up my hand in return.
Puts her hand down. Okay. And then she goes and leaves heads back over to the cultists.
30.
Look, I don't sweat, but I'm getting very hot right now. Holy shit. Have any water left? Oh, yeah.
Good save, Erica.
Oh, look, Zan, we didn't have to cut her in half.
Diplomacy.
I'm glad to see that cooler heads prevailed.
Listen, Erdnot
Oh.
Erdnot's a man of honor. He does not go around killing people for no reason.
No,
But,
he just sends his.
So
He
bad
just
about
sends a man in the shadows to do it for him and cut little people in half. That's all.
If Braxton did not notice, I would have happily come up behind her and sunk my axe into her head. Just nice, discreet, and then I just slowly drag her into the woods by the axe handle.
Fuck.
So scary.
Would were they out like off to the side where no one could see, or was this something that would be able to at least be like seen, even if I couldn't hear what they said?
With your night
think
vision, like your
Hector-
dark vision, you would be able to see from like so people without dark vision, wouldn't necessarily see that. But if you were paying attention, you could see they were only about like 40 feet, 45 feet away from like out in the dark area a little bit. But yeah, you would see it.
So Erdnot would go back. He discreetly hand the things to Abaddon to put back in the bag, and then looks like you just put that in your cleavage.
I know.
That's the bag of holding.
Please.
He would walk over to Zan and I go, "It's taken care of. in a non-violent way, and I just kind of pat him on the shoulder, and that heavy not doesn't realize how hard he's actually hitting you, pat, and then so you can relay the message to the others, and then not will turn to the cart and go, "This calls for the good drinks," and walks back towards the cart. It gets everyone a good drink.
All right. So you all have your good drinks that Erdnut is nice enough to share with you. And yeah, you convinced Minxie. And when you look over at her throughout the night, she's looking over at you and she's like, all right. And so, oh, we lost Abaddon. Just for a moment.
Oh wait.
Okay.
I'm back.
Abaddon, come back. You guys always disappear right when I'm about to say something specific to you. Like without fail, you pop away, and I have to wait. Oh,
Okay.
you're sideways.
Hold on. I'll
Come
save
back. There you go.
There we go. All right.
Hey.
Got it.
Careful,
So,
don't drop us
Abaddon.
into the bag of holding.
Or do.
She's like, oh yeah.
I was using reverse psychology. Now
No,
Abaddon's
no, we
gone.
lost
Fuck.
Vidania.
Oh.
And
Oh.
Erdnot, you
Oh, God.
turned into a pinwheel.
Oh,
Who's
I can see him on
happening?
mine. I can see him on mine.
Froze
Okay,
on
it's trying to tell us that it's bedtime. But Abaddon, as
Yeah.
you're kind of putting the stuff away and just doing as the night wears on, it's time to go to bed. You're going through your stuff. You notice that your little hand whittled wooden horse that Zan had given you, you can't find it. It's not there. You kind of like start searching through your stuff, and you swear you put it like in this pocket, but it's not there anymore, and you can't find it.
That sucks.
At least it wasn't a 500 gold drift globe thing.
This is about my heart, not about money.
And you look
This is a
around.
personal gift.
You look around at everybody. You're kind of looking around, and you can't put your nobody's acting suspicious in this moment. And you kind of do the same thing that Arik did the other day, where you're like, who was it? You look over and you look at the cultist camp because that's where your eyes would naturally go right away. You kind of look at the really heavily tattooed Murray the Scarred. You look over at Philok. And then you kind of look at James, and you look at Philok, and you look at James, and they're not close to each other at the moment, but then that thing that Minxie told you, you're like, no, somebody stole my shit. And then you're like, still looking around. Then you get to like your camp, and you're looking at everybody, and you look at Lita, who's over on the other side, Norvustia, and now there's new people, so like Nuhar, and Selvek, and Radisir, he's always so quiet, and Green Imsa. And you look at the pole, but he wouldn't do that. He actually is still kind of healing. He had decided to do his own healing thing when he got shot with those arrows, and so he's got these like bandages with some moss kind of hanging out of the side of it. He did his own personal kind of healing thing and has just been letting it do its thing. Yeah, you can't quite seem to put your finger on who it might be. Somebody stole your wooden horse.
Was the bag in the tent or on my horse, or like where was the bag?
Where was it?
Yeah.
Wherever it was.
Oh,
If you wanted it, yeah. If you wanted it to be in your tent or on the horse.
Oh, okay.
It's up to you.
Yeah. Okay. It was on the horse. and somebody stole my tiny horse, I'm gonna tell my friends right away.
Okay.
And say, what the heck, guys? Is anybody missing anything? This is wild. My tiny horse is gone.
Makai's gonna check all her stuff.
No,
will
you
Zan.
still have all your stuff. Everyone else's stuff is there except for the tiny horse and the drift globe.
There anyone near it before you noticed it missing? Near your stuff?
No, I don't think so. I mean, I think Baloo would have said something to me.
Baloo the horse.
Is that your?
Yeah.
He's like,
I was like, who?
I don't.
You guys know Mr. Ed, right?
I was
Can you
thinking of
actually talk to your
Tailspin.
horse?
No.
Oh, you have
she
to ask.
talks to
I had
it,
to
but
ask
it doesn't
in
talk
this
back.
world.
Yeah.
In this world, I
If
had to ask.
If
She
any
does
of
not
us could
talk
talk to
back.
animals, it would be Micaiah.
yeah.
I don't know.
Micaiah, can you ask Baloo?
Excuse me, Baloo. Did anybody touch a wooden horse?
Well, I'm sorely disappointed. I'm gonna make sure that my the orb, the scrying orb, is still on me because I'm gonna keep it's in a little bag on me. I'm just gonna like hold that,
Okay.
and then I'm just gonna stomp off to bed because I'm bummed.
Turn to Eckhart and say, well, I think that rules out the lawyer. But we do have a thief in our fists.
That's a good point. And yes, we do.
I'm
Who would
looking at
take
the
our
green
horse?
one.
What? The green one?
Aye.
We'll have to be a little bit more tactful than I was the first go around when I accused the lawyer scumbag. And,
Don't
maybe we
apologize.
can.
He's
I
been
don't
avoiding
apologize
you.
to lawyers.
He's been avoiding you since you accused him of stealing. And
Good.
when you try to get not when you try, but when you get within any kind of like close distance, he's kind of like and like moves on. And you could see him and Eldkin every once in a while. Like he'll say something to Eldkin and like look at you. And I mean, Eldkin is kind of like a neutral party here, but she was hired by that wagon to protect it, so that's what she's doing. So she's keeps patting him on the shoulder, like, "It'll be all right."
Massaging his wounded pride.
Right.
There.
There. So Avedon, when she looked around, she would have noticed the same names that you gave me. Is that
Yeah,
what you were saying?
she just looks at all of the same, all of the same people, kind of, like.
Because I did write the names down just so I wouldn't forget them. I usually don't take notes.
One time he's ever
These are-
taken notes.
Somebody stole his shit.
I'm on-
Take it aside.
So, and it's funny because my penmanship does look like somebody who doesn't know how to read or friggin' write. You said Finian, Migsy, Murray, Aldor, Radsey? Is that a name?
Radisir, the quiet
Radisir.
rock gnome.
And Imsa. So, Sherlock Firesong here is going to cross off a couple names off the list. But, Aldor's probably out, and this happened. She just would have noticed that this happened. I mean, Minxie wouldn't have been over by our camp during the day, right?
Minxie kind of goes wherever she wants.
I don't think it was Minxie, in my opinion.
I don't think so either. But maybe we can set Avedon on that on a question.
Oh, yeah.
With more shiny rocks.
Ask her if she's gotten any new shiny rocks. Shiny things.
Minxie sees
Any
a
balls.
lot. She sees
Right,
a
that's what
lot. Maybe she might have seen somebody hovering around at different times.
Exactly. maybe we can make friends. Friends with her. Maybe I can ask her to help me
Yeah, just
find flowers.
10 minutes ago, we were talking
flowers.
about chopping her in half or tricking her to walk off
Hey,
into
It
her
was different
death.
back
You.
then.
Hey, that's the way it goes.
It was.
Why
That's
you
so
bringing
long
up-
ago now.
1 second you're
why you
dinner,
bringing up
the
old
next
shit or
second you're
not?
friends.
Why you Why are you bringing up old shit?
We cool now. We cool now.
We like
We
her now.
fam.
We're good now. We're good now.
Maybe I can convince her to help. Abaddon can talk to her, and then maybe she can help me find flowers for a certain pretty half elf.
I
And we
knew
can ask her
it.
some questions. It's all for cover. It's all the cover story.
See how I love me some flowers? You have no idea I love flowers.
How did you know?
Yeah, maybe we can do that
All right. So
tomorrow.
Oh, you better do that. You better get me some flowers. Eric,
Woman getting
flowers,
demanding
dog.
already.
all right. So yeah, you go to bed.
He said that like a
Yes.
mother. Eric Fire Song, you better have flowers on that table tomorrow.
You better have flowers ready for me tomorrow.
Yes, ma'am.
So he will have flowers for you tomorrow. And you all go to bed. Abaddon, a little bit angry or not feeling accomplished. And
Kai's
knowing that
feeling
there's a feast,
dreamy.
Zan is just gonna take that simple gold necklace that he keeps in his bag, and he's just gonna sleep with it wrapped around in his fist.
okay. And Vidania.
Should
Oh, go ahead.
never mind. It's not so.
As you, Vidania, are lying down to go to sleep, you hear the familiar buzz in your ear, and you're like, ugh, now what's Zan gonna tell me? And you're like, I'm going to tell everybody, Zan, like, don't worry about it. Gonna get there. But instead you hear this voice in your head that is not familiar to you, but it says, Vidania, a message from your father. Dictated. Please come home. I've made a mistake. Please return to me. I love you. That's it. And your eyes kind of pop
This is
open.
an awesome
God.
form
And
of
that's
communication.
That's where your will end until Saturday when we pick
Did
back
you
up.
accept
Dun,
the
dun.
Did you accept the long distance charges? Does the voice ask you that?
Not accept.
Was that like Morse code? Like somebody telegraphed it?
Telegram.
Thank God.
Not now, Jen. I'm on an adventure.
God.
Dad, why do you guys ruin everything?
I want to hang out with my friends.
I don't want to come home.
All right, so
And
I'm 84 years old.
actually
That's why
150 now, right?
150, yeah.
you were rebelling. She's a rebellious teenager.
Yeah.
So yeah, we'll pick up there, or maybe in a day or two after that. But on Saturday, you guys definitely did not do what I thought you were gonna do, but it worked. I honestly thought you were
thought
going.
we were gonna kill her.
Oh yeah, of course I did. I was
We're
prepared.
not murder hobos.
Yeah, but now we might be able to use her.
Yeah.
That was smart.
To be
Yeah,
We
it
have an
worked.
asset.
to be perfectly
worked.
honest, I did not think they were gonna listen to Zan when he said, "Don't kill the halfling."
No, I thought she was going to die for sure.
I thought she was gonna die.
Ernot is a man of
Good job,
peace.
Ernot.
He is always open to non-violent
Sure he
solution
is.
first.
Sure he is.
Hey,
Well,
Yeah, sure he
especially
is.
now
It's the same.
after God specifically told him to try not to kill people right away. So
Right away.
he's following that edict.
Yeah,
But believe
I'd
me,
say that's
I was this close to like when my deception failed, and like I was this close to Liz like saying like, and now she walks over to so and so with her mouth open, and I was like, and the hand axe comes down on the back of her head. And like I was a breath away from saying that. And then
Yeah, I
damn
didn't
the
want to kill.
consequences.
It's a
That's
close
D and
one.
D.
I didn't want to kill her either, but if
I
that's what
knew-
we had to do, that's what we had to do. I really didn't want to.
I would have.
I know. I'm surprised
Abaddon,
your
don't give a damn.
bloodlust because you're like she's the former sister. You're like kill her, let's kill her.
Yeah, we're in the
A halfling isn't an animal, though.
That's
Right.
true. If she looked like a kitty.
Arik doesn't
That's
like killing
great.
things that don't fight back.
Abaddon might get a more
So-
gray feeling if it was like a minotaur. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or a centaur.
It
Well,
looks
is
like
it
a
like Lord of the
cow.
Rings, or do they have fuzzy feet?
Yeah, they're halflings are essentially are hobbits. They just couldn't call them hobbits. They're hobbits.
Right. Yeah. Okay. All right. So there you go. It had rabbit feet essentially.
Yeah.
Big ugly
He's a
rabbit
hobbit, essentially.
feet.
The look of Lawrence.
I don't like feet.
Yeah.
He doesn't like feet.
I don't like feet.
So anybody who's got feet's totally fucked. He's gonna kill
No
the shit
feet.
out of you.
I don't want
got
any
feet?
feet.
No.
She looks down. All you motherfuckers
Harmony
got feet.
didn't have oh well,
Out of
I
my
think she
face.
did have feet, actually. But
Hmm?
we lost him.
No, she had
My
feet
phone's about to
hooves,
die. It's
right?
on 1%. So if
Oh,
I
okay.
die, there you go.
All right. I think we gotta go to bed anyways.
Yeah.
Yeah, so thank you to everybody who watched. We had like 11 or 12
Actual people.
at any given time. Yeah.
Awesome.
Thanks. And we got a new follower, another lord. Sorry, I have to look at my note.
We're all
They
about the
heard
lords
about
and
what
ladies.
Madani does, that's why.
Yeah, the word is spreading through
And they
Twitch.
decided to follow the
Lord-
word very carefully. All of a
Lord
sudden,
It's happening.
A dozen viewers all of a sudden.
Nikto. We are still doing our 50 follower giveaway. So when we get to the 50 followers, we're going to do a giveaway of HeroForge.com color custom mini. And they haven't opened up the beta yet, but I figure by the time we get 50 followers, they'll probably open up the beta to everybody, and then you can mess around and create your own color plastic mini.
Woo! Tell your friends.
I know.
Tell your
And
friends.
thank you again to the Mark Knight and to Nat Awesome, who both hosted us on their channels and like brought people in to watch us.
Yay.
And I also joined over on the Mark Knight's Discord. They're the ones that play like 6 games a week, all on the same like world, from what I understand. I think I was doing
How
some
did you do
reading.
that?
And yeah, it's like 6 games, but they're all like on the same world. And I'm sure you can correct me if I'm wrong in saying this, but they're all in the same world and they're all kind of happening at the same time. So what other groups do affects like all the other groups. I think this is right,
Oh, wow.
which is epic
That's
That's
cool.
so
and
cool.
amazing.
That's
That is
awesome.
Wow,
Um,
that's crazy.
yeah,
impressive.
but
I-
he's
I
got like a
thought-
whole
I thought you meant
collaborative
just-
going. Sorry, go ahead.
I thought you meant 6. I thought you meant 6 sessions a week, not 6
No,
separate
6
games.
Oh yeah, 6 separate games, like 6
That's
sessions. You can join their Discord, which I can send you guys invites. I know that this is like the nerdiest that most of you probably get, but if you're willing to like expand your nerddom, we can get you some on more Discord channels.
Already put way there. Might as well bring me all the way, nerd.
Yeah.
Take us there,
Oh,
DM.
I went full nerd long time ago. No
Full
kidding.
nerd is launching.
Yeah, so we can we're trying to, encourage and build support for each other's channels and, get people seeing our creations and whatnot. So, which includes all the stuff that you guys create too. It's not like me because I draw or, make up voices like Zan and Arik and all the stuff you've done, and then me and Micaiah and the chats we've had, and pretty much I've talked to everybody about how your characters are advancing and the things that you want to do and how we make it work. So all of that is your creation too. So
they get to see all that?
um,
Do they get to see all that in the Discord?
so on our Discord, people can see your text chats. They can't see the personal conversations I have with each of you on how your characters are being advanced and stuff. But just in general, all of it is your creations, collaborative storytelling between all of us. So yeah. Anyway, it's bedtime.
Hope they like the RP and that me, Makai, and Erdnot did today.
Yeah.
Go and read it.
Yeah, in
That
our
was good.
Discord, the adventure continues with text RP just because everybody needs to escape in between Tuesdays and Saturdays. So, and then Nat Awesome as well. Like, I think typically they're doing like, she's doing map creation and whatnot, and then every other Sunday I think she plays a game. So I haven't watched the game yet because I just kind of internet met everybody a couple days ago, but on this coming Sunday I plan on watching at 8:30 when the boys are asleep, so that'll work. But this was great. I hope you guys had fun, and
Always.
Always thank you.
Yes,
Thank
thank
you.
you, DM.
Thank you,
Or,
Thanks,
guys.
everybody.
Intense sessions
And,
and
Show up.
weeks.
We do all the work.
I hope you guys were stressed out a little bit because that was like the point. So it's funny because I'm
Yeah.
not stressed out at all, and so like you're like sitting there sweating, and I'm just like, the dice rolled a 3, so this is how she's going to react. But anyway, okay. Well, good night, everybody. I miss you.
Night.
Good night.
All right.
Yay.
Miss everybody,
Thank
and
you.
thanks again. Thanks again for everybody who was watching.
Thank you. All right, now I have to
Night.
like
Watch again.
guys can keep saying bye while I try to figure out how to. Oh, I made a new animation for our exit thing and our intro thing. You guys won't see it, but everyone else who's watching will. So let's see how it works. Okay,
Cool.
bye.
Oh, see you later.
One guy.
I've got